Welcome investors! Today's video is going to be about Intel and two huge mistakes Intel has made during the last 25 years which caused the company a major downturn. And we'll take a quick look at the competition in semiconductor industry. Besides that, you will hear in this video about mistakes beginner investors are making when buying stocks, and also a quick look at my shares of Intel, which I have been holding since 2019. So if you are interested and you want to avoid mistakes when buying stocks, keep watching this video to the end. You will find a lot of interesting information which you can use in your investment journey. So Intel had a rough ride for the last 25 years. First, Intel missed the opportunity to be involved in the mobile technology, which gave a way for the competition to take over the market. TSMC, Qualcomm, Samsung, ARD moved pretty fast, closing the gate for Intel to get involved in the mobile industry. Second, Intel missed on AI boom by allowing NVIDIA to establish itself as a major chip provider for AI. Those two huge mistakes caused that Intel went down drastically during the last 5 years by almost 65%. One-time industry leader became a laggard. It is a prime example that the lack of vision and quick reaction to the changing needs of the market will bring any company down from the top to the mediocre level. As of March 18, Intel is bringing Lip Bhutan, who is a veteran of the tech industry. He was a CEO of the Cadence Design Systems, which provided software for all major chip makers. And he is also a co-creator of the venture capital firm Walden International, created in 1987, which invests in tech startups. He actually invested in a lot of Chinese companies, even companies with the ties to the Chinese military. Can this pose a conflict of interest with him being a CEO of the major American semiconductor company in the era of the US trying to separate itself from the reliance on any foreign manufacturing, especially Chinese? Those questions remain to be seen. There are really high expectations after naming Lip Bhutan as the Intel CEO, and it is reflected in the market optimism. Intel shares rose 20% this year, mostly past the week following the news of the Lip Bhutan as the new permanent CEO of Intel. All the bonuses for the new CEO will be tied up to the performance of the Intel, which is a great motivation for the new CEO. Turning around the company like Intel is extremely hard. Intel for years was a leader in the semiconductor industry, and its success caused that the company gradually started to care less about innovating and adjusting to the constantly changing needs of the market. Lip Bhutan has a huge experience in semiconductor industry, but that may not be enough to bring Intel to its glory days. Previous CEO Pat Gelsinger also had a huge experience and tried very hard for the last 4 years to turn the company around. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Current geopolitical situation is in favor of Intel. President Trump wants to bring all the production to the US. Semiconductors are the matter of national security for the current administration. Currently, majority of semiconductors are manufactured in Taiwan, which China considers as their own territory. And the Chinese president Xi Jinping promised to reunite Taiwan with the mainland by 2027. This will definitely put more attention on Intel and domestic production. Additionally, Intel is considered a safe company for the US government, and all major contracts for AI and the future changes in cyber hardware operated by the government will most likely go to Intel. Intel is already deeply involved in working with the government. Having government as the customer is a very good and stable stream of income for Intel. Turning around the company size of Intel is an extremely difficult task. It requires changing the culture of the company, which was built for decades. This culture initially was the source of success, but over the time it became a burden and the source of failure. Intel right now is in a very difficult position, and any change for the better will be very painful and will require changes to the way Intel conducted its business for decades. Intel needs to adjust to the new realities. Massive cuts in the workforce are inevitable in case people don't embrace new approaches and thinking outside of the box. Competition in the semiconductor industry is very stiff, and all the time when Intel is lagging, competition is moving aggressively forward. Let's take a quick look at the biggest Intel competitor, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the company which does not have much better technology than Intel. They operate in the similar environment and technological advancement as Intel. NVIDIA, the same as Intel and all other major semiconductor companies, are supplied by ASML, a Dutch company which specializes in the development and manufacturing of the photolithography machines, which are used to produce computer chips. Success of NVIDIA does not lie in having much more advanced technology than Intel. Success of NVIDIA lies in the human resources, their different approach, and particularly their CEO, Jensen Huang, who was brilliant enough to spot AI trends coming to the market. Let's hope that the new Intel CEO will be able to spot new trends for Intel. With decades of experience in the semiconductor industry, Lip Bhutan seems like the right person to be able to turn around Intel. So my shares of Intel, which I purchased in 2019, are currently down 42%, and I did not sell a single share. I'm planning to keep them all indefinitely as the reminder of not so good investment decisions, and less as the future moneymaker. My shares of Intel remind me that my decision-making process when I was buying them turned out to be incorrect. I was considering at that time all other major semiconductor companies, and I chose Intel because of the cheap price per share, which is a really naive criteria of choosing the stock to invest, and cheap share price is for the reason cheap, usually indicating not so healthy situation of the company. At the time of buying Intel shares, I wrongfully focused on researching and reading only positive articles, intentionally avoiding reading any negative articles about Intel in order to justify my decision to buy Intel shares and make sure to feel good about my choice. This is very often the case with new investors, that they literally fell in love with the company and they don't take seriously any negative information about the company. Solution to this problem is to read an equal amount of positive and negative articles about the company, which stocks you are considering buying. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any comments, please leave the comments under this video. I highly appreciate any positive and negative comments. If you like this video, give me a thumb up, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. I highly appreciate your time being here with me. Thank you so much. Stay healthy and well.